What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping in the next one on our Jonna Jinton journey. Living with the dark winters in Sweden, midnight sun and polar night. Listen, I've seen 30 Days of Night. I don't know that I'll be able to handle living up there where the vampires can roam free for 30 days. I just don't think I could do it. Definitely get over, show Jonna Jinton some love if you guys enjoy it. And we're gonna learn something today. I'm telling you, she is about teaching and I'm about learning. I'm still down to, oh, you wait, I promise you, we're gonna try some birch sap with her, with what we learned from her last video. I really enjoyed this journey, so I definitely appreciate the request. Get over, show her all the love in the world. We're already subbed up, we're smashing the like button on this one too, because I know it's gonna be interesting. I know it's gonna be different. Not all of us get to live in a place where there's all sun and all night. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, just the thought of it, going to bed while the sun is still up, it's not something that I would ever normally do, but they have to at certain points. Let's go, let's see what we got.
My name is Jonna, and I live in the north of Sweden.
It's so beautiful though. Night and day difference, no?
It's a country with a lot of light. And it's also a country with a lot of darkness. It all depends on what season it is. Just like many other countries in the northern hemisphere, there is a strong contrast in the light conditions between summer and winter. In the winter, it's dark almost all the time. And in the summer, it's light all the time. During the summer, in the very north of Sweden, the sun never sets.
Look at that. Did you see what time it was? No, 1:53 and then 1:53 a.m. It looks like it's afternoon. That's crazy bright. That's daytime bright. That's like noon light.
During the summer, in the
Holy
very
hell.
north of Sweden, the sun never sets between the end of May until the middle of July. So you can see the sun 24 hours a day, and that is called the midnight sun. And then, during the winter in the very north of Sweden, it's the opposite. For a couple of weeks, the sun never rises above the horizon, which means that there is no sunlight for about a month, and that is called the polar night. These extreme contrasts in light is caused by the rotation of the Earth in relation to the position of the sun. And the further...
Hey, the people who live up there, if you are one of the subscribers that lives up there, let me know what's your favorite time. Would you rather be in the nighttime? Would you rather be in the daytime? Like, how does it go? What's your favorite time during these extreme differences? Do you prefer the snow sun? Do you prefer the sun all the time?
The rotation of the Earth in relation to the position of the sun. And the further north you go, the bigger the contrast. I live in the middle north of Sweden, and if I'm lucky and it's a clear sky, I can see the sun above the treetops for about an hour during the darkest time of the year.
It's the middle of the day, and this is how high the sun goes up now. It's just a little bit over the horizon, or over the trees.
But winters like this one, when it's been cloudy every day, I actually didn't see a glimpse of the sun for over a month. But just a few days ago, now in the beginning of January, I got to feel the sun on my face again.
This is the first glimpse of the sun that we see in over a month. Do you see this?
And that feeling, when you begin to feel the sunlight again in January, is always overwhelming.
I can only
it's
imagine.
Like seeing the sun for the first time in your life. Even if it can be hard sometimes with these kinds of light conditions, I really love it and I would never want to change it.
Wow.
I think the light is never as beautiful as it is during these most extreme times of the year. When it's summer, I usually change my rhythm and stay up all nights and then sleep in the forenoon instead. The light is so beautiful in the middle of the night, and as a filmmaker and photographer, it's like a dream to be out and capture the beauty of the bright nights of June.
It really is breathtakingly beautiful. I got damn tears in my eyes. Can you imagine having to say, I can't wait to see the sun again? This might be something that everybody just needs to try. Maybe we all just need to take a trip and go see what it's like.
And then in the winter, even if we don't get so much sunlight, we at least get a few hours of twilight during the day. And that light is the most beautiful kind of daylight that I know. It's like experiencing a long sunrise without a sun.
Whoa.
And when it's a clear sky and the sun is rising just a tiny bit above the treetops, it spreads a soft and pink light all over the landscape.
Like a
And that
living
is beyond
poem or
beautiful.
something. Look at this is fairy tale land right here.
Around 3 in the day, it's already getting dark, and it makes the evenings feel never-ending. But the darkness makes us see what is never visible in the light. Because actually, we do get sunlight from thousands of suns far, far away.
Wow.
I live in a place where there's no light pollution, and the night sky is breathtaking. And for me, that is one of the reasons that I really love the winter here. And now and then, the sun sends us a greeting in the darkness. Particles from storms on the surface of the sun comes traveling towards the earth, colliding with our magnetic field and creating the aurora borealis.
Jonna, I absolutely love her way of thinking. I'm saying, what a beautiful way to live. What a beautiful mindset to have about something that a lot of people, honestly, some of us even forget that there are stars. We look up and we see, what, 1, 2, a couple stars because of all of the damn light pollution. That would be an overwhelming feeling to stand there and see nothing but stars. To be reminded of how much is actually out there. The fact that she says that she never would want to change any of it is something next level entirely. It just makes me feel like we're missing out.
The northern lights that dances in the sky. I can never find the right words to describe how much I love to stand under the northern lights on a cold and dark winter night.
Man
I can
alive.
take the darkness any day, as long as I get to see the stars and the northern lights. It makes it all worth it. But even though there is so much beauty to find in these special kinds of light conditions that we have here in the north, I would lie if I said that it's always easy to live and adapt to them, because it's not. Well, the summer is easy. I don't think you can have too much light. The only thing that people often ask me is if it's harder to sleep when it's light all night. And for me personally, if I want to sleep during the night, I have no problem with that. And for those who do feel like it's a problem, it's easily fixed with some thick and dark curtains. But the winter and the darkness is definitely much more challenging, and I can only speak from my own experience now. The lack of sunlight makes me more tired, and during the darkest and coldest months, between November and March, I sometimes struggle to keep the energy up. It's harder to get up in the morning when it's dark outside. Our body naturally want to wake up with the sun. And in the afternoon, I often get confused with the time, since the darkness makes it feel like it's much later than it actually is. And the lack of daylight makes me struggle more as a filmmaker, since I only have 1 hour of good light to film in a day, compared to the 24-hour of good light in the summer. So the darkness, combined with the cold, make things a bit more challenging. And I know I'm not the only one struggling to keep up the energy during this time of the year.
It's very crazy to me too, because can you imagine how rejuvenating the sun would feel? You would feel like Superman absorbing the sun's powers when it finally did come back. And then when it does come back, you are seeing a whole new landscape around you for the first time. It looks like it's for the first time all over again. That's crazy. A lot of us can't even, it's mind-boggling. A lot of us can't even fathom what this is like. Oh no. Oh. She's a part polar bear.
But of course, there is many things you can do to make the winters a little easier. I want to mention a few things that helps me adapt better to the lack of sunlight. For me personally, I think that the tiredness that I feel in the winter is the hardest part. The energy level is so low sometimes. And the cure to that is not always to sleep more. It can actually be to do the opposite. So I try my best to keep being active and moving my body as much as I can, and get as much daylight as possible. I go for long walks with my dog every day. And if the weather is good, I like to go out in the forest with my snowshoes and my camera, or go skiing. I also love to take ice baths. It's something I started doing a few years ago, combined with breathing exercises, using the
Wim Hof, baby,
and it has
Wim Hof.
become my favorite way of boosting myself with new energy when I need it the most.
I already use the Wim Hof breathing method to relieve headaches and things like that for sure. I can see it help. It helps in the cold shower, so I can definitely see it helping in some ice. If you don't know who the Iceman is, go check him out for sure.
Going into that freezing water is actually the last thing that my body wants to do in that moment. But putting myself into that kind of discomfort is awakening something in me that helps me reset my body. Believe it or not, but cold swims and cold showers has many good health benefits.
Very true.
It's not for everyone, of course, and it's important to get knowledge before trying an ice bath if you have never done it before. But for me, it has been a great source of energy and joy during the winter time.
Jonna, I need to come visit your magical
land. I
land.
feel a big difference in my energy levels in the winter when I move my body in some way. It doesn't need to be a full workout, but just something, a little every day that makes you feel alive. When we can't get enough energy from the sun, I think it's even more important to make sure that we get enough energy and nutrition from our food. Nature has so much to give us in the summer that we can harvest and save for the winter when we need it the most.
If I lived up there, I would probably learn how to eat some vegetables. I probably would. A lot of people know that I am like almost 100% a carnivore. I really don't enjoy vegetables. I really don't. I don't know. It's something about them. But up there, you almost would need it. You almost would need that nutrition, that revitalizing vitamins and minerals to come out of everything. You just absorb it all. Like, I'm up there, yeah, I would definitely probably eat some vegetables. There I'll be able to survive on only meat.
Here in the north, we have plenty of berries in the forest, so I like to pick tons of blueberries and lingonberries and put in the freezer so that we can eat berries and drink juice.
Berries I can do
every single day during the whole winter.
Berries I can definitely do.
I also like to pick different herbs that are good for our health and dry them to make my own tea for the winter.
Wow.
One of my favorite teas to drink when it's cold and dark outside is simply made out of birch leaves.
See?
I
Her
pick
and the
them
birch.
just as they begin to bloom in the spring, while they are still small and light green. And the tea smells and tastes just like how it smells like in the spring. And in the middle of the winter, I think it feels so comforting to have a piece of the spring to remind you of the wonderful time to come when everything is blooming and the birds are singing again.
Imagine
And of
having
course,
this.
I also
Oh.
take vitamin D supplements since we don't get anything from the sun in many months. Even though that would never replace the sun, I believe it can help a little bit. The list of things you can do to handle the darkness is endless. These were just to mention a few. But I think that the most important thing of all is to accept and adapt to the cycles of nature. I definitely feel a big difference in the energy during summer and winter, both in nature and in myself. And that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, it's just different. I think the winter and the darkness can cause a lot of unnecessary suffering when we are trying to force ourselves to feel the same as we do in the summer. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel lack of inspiration. And it's okay to need more sleep and to let things slow down.
Even a lot of nature. Look at bears. All hibernate in the wintertime. Like, I don't know. Watching her makes me feel like I'm doing life all wrong. Who else feels like that?
A flower would never force itself to bloom in the cold winter. So why would we? This way of thinking changed my way of dealing with the different seasons. I love the winters just as much as I love the summers. They both have their own benefits and challenges. And I think it gets much easier when we let go and accept what we feel instead of fighting it, and accept the cycles.
She is damn
and the
magical.
cycles in ourselves and learn to live with it, like a dance. So, this is how it is to live with the light and the darkness in the north of Sweden, from my perspective. The extreme contrasts in light also creates a bigger contrast to the seasons, and they all have their own beauty. I love the constantly changing seasons, and that you can see and feel how the light changes a little bit
She
for
has
every
got
single
me.
day that goes by.
I don't know. Some
The
kind of
beautiful balance
way.
of light and darkness is my greatest source of inspiration, and it makes every day feel new and different.
Tell me that she doesn't make you want to run away from the city, though. Like, legitimately, just her way of thinking, the way that she lives. It's like living off the land to get the way the thing's supposed to be. It almost feels perfect. Thanks so much for telling me that I've been doing live the wrong way, for showing me that I've been doing live the wrong way. This is freaking amazing to watch. I'm obviously going to have to take a trip, because I think until you see it, until you experience it, you're never going to know the full extent of what that sun feels like on your face, or what it feels like to adapt and become like more one with nature. She definitely is more one with nature than I am, for sure. If you guys enjoyed it, if you learned something that made you want to run away from the city, get over, show Jonna Jinton some love for sure. Smash the like button if you liked it, the dislike button if you disliked it. Her link is inside of the description. Until the next one, I'm highly combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace.